both entertainment and sports today.
Keep God first.
Watch me on entertainment and sports today.
Stay tuned for entertainment and sports today.
A big winner in the challenge. We want this to be fun. We want this is a big night of fun. It's a great evening for people to see.
And you yourself are an actor.
I'm an actor, and I'm in a film. The reason I'm here is because I'm in a film called Fate, which Jonathan Baker produced, directed, and wrote. And he also acted in it with me. And the film turned out great. I just saw a screening of it, and it's amazing. It's coming out this year. It's called Fate, and it's really it's very unusual because it's a real movie. It's a love story.
What do you mean by it's a real movie?
Well, they don't make movies like this anymore. This is like a film that you'd see like maybe 50 years ago, sort of like a fantasy love story, and it deals with going back in time, and it's beautiful. And it's shot in a castle. And it's just an amazing. You just don't see films like this anymore, you know.
Ooh, a castle. Where did you guys shoot?
They found the castle in Vancouver Island. I think they call it Vancouver Island. Yeah.
So in Canada,
yes,
Vancouver.
Canada, yeah. And it was amazing, amazing scenery and amazing actors. I got to work with amazing actors like Faye Dunaway, and
wow,
Harvey Keitel is in this movie.
Those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, some great actors in this film, and it's just it's very exciting. So I'm happy to be here for that.
What role did you play? Were you a villain? Were you a protagonist? What's up?
I play two roles because there's a little reincarnation thing going on in this film.
Okay.
So it's two different eras. And in the beginning, I'm a driver for Mena Suvari. Okay. And then at the end of the picture, I'm married to Mena Suvari now. So that's all I'm going to tell you.
Ooh, very exciting. Yeah. And when does it come out?
So I'm hearing closer to the end of this year.
Okay, great. And where do we find you on social media?
I'm a Jimmy Van Patten official.
You're official.
That's my Instagram.
Hi, and what's your name?
I'm Larry Kazanov, the producer of Mortal Kombat and True Lies.
And what about you? What are you working on?
Our next movie will be an animated movie based on the TV series X Factor. It's called X Factor in the Jungle, where jungle animals find a karaoke machine and start their own version of the show. And we're producing it with Simon Cowell.
Great. And when do we expect to see that on the screen?
We never say that, because then if we miss it by one day, someone like you calls up and goes, "Oh, so you're late."
No, I would never say that.
No,
it
takes
late.
about 2 years to make a movie like this.
Okay.
And it's very complicated. Kirk Wise from Beauty and the Beast is directing it. It's a great group.
Who do you have as Best Picture?
Well, they're all great, but I'm a big fan of Wicked. I thought it was a monumental achievement.
And why is that?
Because it's big, it's bold, it's huge, it's gorgeous, it's talented, it's just dripping with talent in every department, and it's great entertainment. There's been a little tendency that for a movie to be really successful, doesn't win. That's not what the old days are. It's been less. I don't agree with that. Now, maybe all movies are great, but personally, I voted for Wicked.
How do we find you online?
LarryKazanoff.com, @LarryKazanoff, or ThresholdEntertainment.com.
Great. Well, thanks for talking
Thank
to
you.
us today.
Thank you.
Hello, Galina. So you're into fashion, and who have you dressed?
So today, for this fabulous red carpet, I've styled the beautiful Sophia Milos, and the most incredible couple is Gilles Marini and Carol Marini, his wife.
Oh, that's fabulous. So what do you look at when you take on a client?
I really look at what their tastes are like, what they feel comfortable in. It is really important for an actor when they're on the red carpet to feel great in their own skin, to feel confident, because there's so much around. I know with today's dresses, everybody's like, am I comfortable, am I not? But it is most important for them to feel incredibly comfortable in whatever it is they're wearing, to look stylish, to look chic, not overdone, to bring glamour back.
Oh, I love that. Bring glamour back. So what is glamour to you?
Elegance, grace, and flawless chic. I am not one for tchotchkes. I'm not one for everything but a kitchen sink. I always say before you leave the house, take one thing off.
How did you get into fashion?
Well, I've been a fashion designer my entire life, pretty much. I worked for the likes of Michael Kors and Marc Jacobs back in New York. I worked in London and studied in London as well. And in the past 25 years, owned my own fashion brand, Single Dress, and styled Fergie and Taylor Swift and J-Lo and a lot of celebrities in the dresses that I actually designed. 2 years ago, sold my company. Thought I was going to retire, but as
The world had other things.
Yes, the world had other things for me, and as fashion stars would align, picked up all my old beautiful celebrity clients because they wanted to look chic and elegant, and just resurrected my love for fashion.
My name is Hannah Fletcher, and I am a talk show host, the host of The Hannah Fletcher Show.
Ooh, competition. Okay, we need a cat fight right now.
No cat fight.
I'm good. Okay, so what's your talk show about?
So my talk show, as I mentioned, it's called The Hannah Fletcher Show. It's all geared for the younger generation. Actually, my executive producer is right down there. His name's Eric Wheelwright. And it's basically just all about really servicing the youth. And I feel like the younger generation is very often overlooked in the talk show space. So we're really trying to build out interviews and segments, including guests that can offer like nuggets of wisdom, things like that, things that they've learned along their journey, and really be able to share that with the audience. So, yeah.
This thing that I do with my free time, but I'm really addicted to it.
Okay, so it might be an Olympic sport soon that we'll see you in?
You know what? I think it actually will be, because right now they've turned it into racing, independent racing. In fact, we're getting completely off track from why we're here today, but that's okay. No, in Vegas, there's an annual convention now around electric vehicles, and they've created a track to race these boards on, and some of them go at 80 miles an hour.
Wow. So, okay, we'll see it soon.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go back to acting. We'll segue just a little bit. So who do you think?
I digress, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It'll make a more interesting interview. I'm all good. And I learned something new that I did not know, so I always love doing that.
I love it too.
Today, who do you think is going to win for Best Picture?
Ooh. You know what? I'm going to plead the fifth.
Okay, you don't want to do it. And what about you? What projects are you working on?
So what I'm really excited about is that I partner with Jackie Lewis. She's right over here.
Yes, I know Jackie very well.
And she's amazing. Love her. And we met about 6 months ago at an event like this. And I had been working on a movie idea about social media. Mm-hmm. And I pitched it to her, and she loved it. She loved the whole concept, the whole story. But the ironic thing was I had only written about 20, 30 pages when I met her.
Yeah, that's not really a lot, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's a good...
So after that meeting, she goes, well, you need to finish writing this, but I like where you started so far. So I locked myself in my house for literally the next 4 weeks, writing nonstop. I'm sure a lot of writers can relate to this. I wrote... I don't know if you're going to believe this. This is the God's honest truth. I wrote probably 16 to 18 hours a day.
No, I mean, I write as well, so
okay.
I know the pain.
It was one of those nonstop nonstop.
When you got to get it done, you got to get it done.
And I was in the zone, though. I didn't want to stop.
That's great.
I was in the zone. I'm like, I know what's going to happen next.
Okay.
And turned into like a 200-page script. And Jackie goes, you know this is going to be like a 5-hour movie, right?
We need to edit. So editing is important.
So then I said, well, why don't we just do a series then? So there were some actors, which was very exciting to get their feedback and see if they'd be interested.
Is there anyone attached right now?
There's no one attached, but I can tell you who we've met if that matters to you.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to. I don't like. I'm sort of a little superstitious about things,
okay.
So until you get it, I just was like wondering
all
is
right.
all.
Well, I'll go with that.
Can you give me the title of it?
Newton's Cradle, okay. And underneath that is going to be Social Failure.
Okay.
Because I want to make it a 3-part movie.
Okay.
So.
Hello, Eric, you're an actor. What have we seen you in?
Well, I've had a tiny contribution to Emilia Perez, which is nominated for the Oscars. And then I've got an Apple TV series coming out called Carême, which is a French TV series about a chef during the Napoleon time. So that's going to be interesting. It's coming out in April. It's called Carême. And as well, Emily in Paris. So Emilia Perez, Emily in Paris for Netflix. And
Do you speak French?
yes, my mother is French. Donc
bonjour,
je parle.
ça va?
Oui, ça va très bien. Et vous?
Un petit peu français.
Un petit peu français, mais c'est pas
Oui.
mal déjà.
Okay, now you like.
Sorry.
It's okay.
That's the point.
Oh well.
Podemos hablar español.
Oh no, I'm
no
not.
español?
No, hajimamashi. Watashi wa seiji desu. Japanese is more.
Arigato
my...
arigato gozaimasu.
Okay, there we
And
go.
that's it. We did it.
We're hitting all the languages. So why did you become an actor?
I became an actor because I wanted to have a voice and tell stories. So I'm really careful about the projects I'm involved with. And I write as well. So as soon as I started acting, I started writing. So I very quickly understood that it was about a voice and a message or a question you want to ask.
Do you find that when you became a writer, you got more picky about your acting?
I did.
Yeah,
How did you know?
I'm a writer and an actor, and
Yes.
once I started writing, it changed everything.
Yeah, and the good thing about it as well is that, I mean, recently I've got an independent feature coming out called The Third Degree, directed by Ryan Little, and the director knows me really well. So he sent me the script first, and he asked me for notes because he knows that I write. And the producer and screenwriter was really, understanding, and he wanted to work on the character with me. So it was fantastic.
Right, you collaborate and make the best project possible.
Absolutely, all for the story.
What do you look for when you say yes to a project?
Well, I'm going to be careful about what it says. What it says, the questions it asks, and in particular how the characters are going to be portrayed, because I think that we're in front of the camera, so we do have a responsibility, and we are in the middle of it. So, we need to know exactly what's behind it. So I'm careful about that.
What the motivation is of the project and your character, you mean?
I think both. Yeah, and also right now I will never accept to read something if I don't know who the director is.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure that I'll be able to work with that person.
Do we have any stories there about some difficult directors? No. Okay, no names. Very cool.
Sealed.
Do you have a pick for best actor today?
Oh no, I'm not gonna say.
No.
I'm not gonna say. I don't want to. No, because
You are producing a TV series about Jonathan, a reality show. Is that right?
That is correct. It's called Baker's Empire, and it is an empire that Jonathan is creating. Jonathan is an entrepreneur extraordinaire. He's dealing with hotels. He's dealing with other landing places. He's got Baker's Beauty products. He's got documentaries. He's got movies.
He's a busy guy.
Every day of his life, he is just a whirlwind of energy. It's a quite interesting show. It's a whole slice of life that is voyeurism at its best.
Well, it takes place in LA, so I'm sure you have some interesting characters to spice it up as well, right?
And all around the world. And the other project that I wanted to speak to you about is called Rabble. And for the past 2 years, we've been working on a streaming digital platform for content creators, because it's so hard to get your own product on, anywhere with a distributor, and especially without being robbed. So Rabble is for independent content creators, where they'll get instantly monetized and they'll make a lot of money and get a fair count.
And what do you do, Maura?
I am a relationship expert. I work with power couples around the world and help them recreate the magnetism that they had at the very beginning and also realize their purpose together in the world.
Oh, wow. How do you do that?
I teach workshops all over the world. I also work one-on-one with couples, and I help them really understand masculine and feminine energies so that they can play with them and create magnetic attraction that lasts forever.
Do you find that couples lose that magnetism after a time?
There is actually a massive, I would call it almost like a pandemic in our culture of couples losing that magnetism by depolarization is what we call it.
Okay. Explain depolarization.
Depolarization is when a couple gets together, it doesn't matter, when one partner gets less and less feminine and the other partner gets less and less masculine, and there's no longer like a magnetic attraction between the poles, and everything just gets sort of like and that's where I come in and I help them recreate that attraction and learn exactly what creates it so that they can turn it on whenever they want to.
Let's say you enter into the relationship and the man is really manly, and then each are doing their typical roles, but then after a time, they both tend to, the woman becomes more masculine and the man becomes more feminine. What's going on there?
You say when the man becomes more feminine?
Yes.
Yeah. That happens all the time, and that's just the natural pull of our current culture that causes that. And there's a kind of a vicious cycle where when a woman emasculates a man, he gets more and more feminine. But when a man has a woman does something that has her feel unsafe, she gets more masculine. And it creates this vicious cycle, and it's like a chicken or egg. We don't know which one happens first, but they sort of work together and cause it to just unravel.
So a woman needs to feel safe in a relationship to be in her total feminine. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, she needs to feel safe, desired, and she likes to be decisively directed.
Good to know. Decisively directed. Okay.
It's a very good point.
Entertainment and sports today.